up, what up? Crimson and yellow are going to touch right away. Green's trying to build around, it looks like. Interesting. Check something real quick, and then we'll get right into it. Oops, sorry. Changing the volume on things real quick. Give me one moment. Okay, let's get into this. We got green and blue fighting already. Gold and crimson are almost touching. Holy cow, there we go. So immediately off the rip, HNB's maintaining field control. The bottom side looks like SSI potentially has field control. It's 147A in Azure. Yeah. Okay, so 147A is strong still. Crimson going for a more defensive approach. Hey, it's Kev. What else we got in here? First connecting tower being built. G2 won't have any fighting, unfortunately. It's, yeah, no, G2's been pretty much arranged. We've shut Jade out completely, pretty much. But it's like a 3v1. It's Crimson, Jade, and Azure versus, or I'm sorry, Crimson, Gold, and Azure versus Jade. Who do I think will win in G1? Oh, God. Honestly, I don't know. I think DHX had a really good hold. SafeMe had a really good hold in the initial against HNB. About as good as he could do, given how strong HNB is. And SSI has been healthy up to this point, as far as I can tell. So it's a healthy SSI coming in with, I mean, SafeMe has like, what, 55 mil troops? So he's probably about as healthy as you can get. So I don't know. I'm really not too sure. Where's my boy at? Where's my boy? I'm gonna pause this real quick. Oh, nice. Well, thanks for being here, Yoga. Sorry, I have to interpret some of that. I only know and speak English, a little bit of Tagalog. Mostly understand Tagalog, don't really speak it, but because half Filipino, but so I apologize if the sound goes out for a moment. It's probably because I'm looking at a translator. Fights are ringing out. First tower's down here. Looks like Crimson's building another tower here. This tower's got 240 to go, and then the rally should begin on that side. Looks like Jade and Azure going with the strategy of going straight towards the 8 instead of at each other. Okay. Got Crimson building more defensively over here. Looks like Golden's going to wrap around on the western side of the 8. DHX controlling their territory. HNB making a push. In terms of field control, I think it'll be really hard to try to take field control away from HNB unless Jade can shut out Crimson, or not Crimson, sorry, but Azure altogether. And if they can shut out Azure, then maintain, or I'm sorry, try to initiate field control with Crimson against Gold, that would be the only chance that they have there in terms of getting field control. One-on-one, I don't foresee Crimson even coming close to getting field control against Jade, and that's not me taking a shot at DHX or anything like that at all. It's just simply the sheer numbers that HNB has right now merged with ROK. They just have the numbers to run the field at the moment. It's a different story though on Garrison and rallies. HNB Legion pretty much got all zombies. They won field fighting most of the time. Not sure. That's exactly what I mean. Like in terms of like the solo field fighting and stuff like that, I think HNB is just going to take dominance and control there. How hard and how quick they can push Crimson back is going to be, you know, a different story. They have good Garrison captains, but at the same time, HNB obviously has really good rally commanders as well. Honestly, at this point, Jade needs to shut out Azure as quick as possible and meet up here. I would probably remove this tower and allow Jade to build in here so they can double touch this tower right here. Wait till Jade catches up to here, builds a tower right here in the corner, so then it will fill that. Remove this tower, and then be able to double rally into Jade, or I'm sorry, into gold. That's how I would play that at least, but that is going to require for them to shut out Azure altogether. Because as it stands, this is a good setup to allow Jade to go into there to double rally into gold, and Azure has no way of double rallying into them. They can only flank rally. So if Jade has good Garrison commanders, they could hold Azure all day long and double rally with Crimson into gold. And I think that would be a win con for me. Like a win condition would be Jade and Crimson's ability to double rally into gold. I think that they could hold a 1v1 rally or a 1v1 Garrison against Azure. I'd be interested to see what a double Legion rally setup into gold would look like, personally. Again, that's kind of where I'm looking at for the win conditions, or where I could see win conditions coming from, is what I should say. Also, let me know if I need to turn up my mic or do anything like that at all. I did some more adjustments, changed some stuff around in the stream and whatnot in the last week or so before getting back into it. And so, yeah, if I need to make any adjustments, please just let me know. What about you guys? Who do you guys all think is going to win this one? Might need to turn down the mic a little bit. There we go. That might be a little bit better. There is definitely a Garrison going on. It's going to be hard to pinpoint the rallies themselves. Doesn't look like there's any rallies set yet, or I can't say set, but any rallies hitting yet onto Crimson. It doesn't look like, but Crimson has set rallies onto gold. Jade's building up. I would, if I were them, build one more tower right here in this corner so then it fills this gap. Get rid of this tower right here from Crimson and allow the double rally to go in, is how I would approach this. I would not be trying to take gold head on by myself if I was Crimson. And then right here, like, just put some good Garrison captains in the 3 of these. Let your T5s fill. A couple T6s to help with the field. And then allow the majority of your T6 to rally in with Crimson. It's hard to expect what SSI just got. Yeah. No, of course. I totally get that. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they built here. They built quick. So, I mean, you're looking at 6 minutes on this tower. One more tower, so about 21 minutes. 21, 22 minutes till they can connect. I don't know if Crimson's actually going to let them do it. They may just hold this tower. If they do, I think that's a big mistake. But we'll see. I know that they had to do it to block right here, which is fine. But I still think that if Jade builds a tower here, it finishes and they don't remove this, I think it's going to be a huge missed opportunity. Iron Scythe is Garrison. Strong as Iron Scythe again. Oh, there's the prawn. Sorry, I'm just seeing what names are up front. Let's take a peek down here. Where's the tower on this one? Oh, there it is. So we got a minute and a half on this one left. No rallies hitting it currently. I don't know if they're going to get rid of that tower now. So this is what I'm saying. They put the tower down, and that's fine. It's a good block. But the fact that they're teleporting into it tells me that they're not going to delete this tower, which means that they lose Jade as a teammate altogether. I think that is a very, very, very big missed opportunity. I don't know if that is just a pride factor or what, but I would not... Like, if I'm looking at this, right, and you're looking at Azure... Okay, like there's no huge whales there from what I can tell. ROK, all their whales are an HNB. 147A is a very strong alliance. So that is a threat. GC has a couple 200 mils. But this is what I'm saying, is that this is not nearly as much of a threat as this is. And so you would need both parties to be able to rally into this, given how strong HNB are. So the fact that they're wanting to do this head on and only use Jade for field fighting is... I don't know. I think you lose the advantage that you have of having two fairly strong legions as allies when you miss out on your opportunity for your ally to hit as well. This does nothing for them as a team. They can port here, put in field control, or like get people in the field, but you're not able to double rally into this as a legion. Because can't you like rally up to like 5 rallies now? Isn't it like 5 rallies is the limit on a tower from the screenshots that we saw from the last AR? I mean, if that's the case, I mean they can hold triple rallies from Azure all day long, as we saw in the last bit. You know, another 2 could be the factor. But there's a tower right here getting hit down. They need to keep this tower alive until Jade can put another tower right here in the corner. There are no rallies going from the crimson side into gold. Looks like both towers are getting hit. That is a brutal, brutal trade. Thunder Bianca is what we're going with here? I have so many questions for what is going on right now from Crimson. Okay, they finally switched. That's good. That is much better than the trades. Save Me is about as strong of a garrison as you can have, so I mean there's not much more to expect in this one. Here comes SSI to the front to try to play field, but still, again, I think it's a huge missed opportunity. Expecting Azure to start running rallies as the SSI strong members are moving to the front. sucks. Sorry, guys. I think I've been coming down with something and getting sick this week. Maybe it's just like spring allergies or something. More towers going down. How many players does Jade have on the front? Okay, I mean they got an okay amount that has showed up. Oh man, I cannot wait until I have Victor awakened. So close, so close. Yep, see, there's that tower I was talking about. And that should, yeah, that does. That touches gold. So this is the right tower to play. Jade has the right idea. Crimson needs to drop this tower as soon as Jade can drop tower. See, even with SSI up front, there's no huge push into here. Field control stuff. It's all going to come down to their ability to double rally with Crimson into gold. Still clearing zombies. Okay, this tower is now done. Pace might be setting some counter rallies. I think they might be telling them to get away from this tower. So that is smart. Yep, here comes the towers. They have overwhelming numbers right now. Not seeing any. Where's the towers on this side? Is that it? I'm not seeing any rallies set from Azure or Jade, except for up here. Yeah, they kicked everyone out of the tower. They're gonna get rid of this tower now. That's smart. They needed to do. That'll be there. That'll be there. Cassandra just needs to move her base. It feels like this is just Crimson wanting to try to 1v1 HNB, which they've already done that before. It hasn't worked. Like, call me crazy, but doing the same thing over again doesn't it's gonna have a good outcome. DHX is just, or Crimson as a whole is just getting overwhelmed. SSI trying to apply pressure there. This is when Azure rallies should start bringing out. You have ROK setting rallies now. Yep, that's good. They should set strong ones on this one here. Maybe a little bit less of a strong one on this one here. I don't know if I would spread between 3 of them, but at least 2. That was Azure. They deleted it, but now these guys aren't on their territory. I don't know if they're protected by allied territory, I don't think they are. But somebody in Crimson made the call, the right call, to delete that tower. Where's the those towers are down. This is when they need to start rallying back. They need to get some pressure off of this tower, off of these rallies. There needs to be 5 rallies set onto this tower right here. Start with this front one. Straight for the flank already. Just have field dominance everywhere. Complete standstill. Azure building a flank out? Okay, they're trying to build a tower this way. I was gonna say the best thing that Azure might be able to do at this point, since they don't have all the whales, is to do a flank from here. They need a speed build though, right there. They may have used their speed build right here, which would have been a mistake. I think that knowing that they're not the strongest and not even taking advantage of the fact that they've been touching for a while now, makes it where they shouldn't have speed built here. They could have slow built to this, and then now that they're touching, speed built this way. That's how they could have taken the pressure off HNB from Jade here. Doesn't even look like they need it though. HNB is just running them down. That tower's on fire. This, yeah, you know what? I think that was a huge loss right here. There's just poor communication, I think, between the 2 of them. Poor execution on it. I think it's going to cost them big time. hard to fill that rally from where the position is. Sandra's also just taking out one of these spots. Alright, yeah, well, it looks like Azure has successfully drawn out Jade and taken that pressure off. The tower's in a good spot. Jade did not do their due diligences. It doesn't seem to reinforce their flank, so I think the flank will just crumble, or they have to recommit their strong players to it, and HNB just capitalize on it and just still won't be one. Yeah, this is unfolding rather quickly for Crimson and Jade, looks like. Tower over there. This is pure field fight. No tower, rallies. Kind of interesting. HNB's gonna push back the Jade forward tower. This is their win farm tower. They need to maintain this tower. They need to maintain control here. They're not. So. Jade coming up on the flank. Yeah, guys, I think this one's already decided, honestly. I hate to say it. I think it was just mistimed executions of strategy, or a lack of communication on some parts, or maybe a failure of communication on some parts. I don't know. It seemed very disorganized. Didn't really seem unified between Crimson and Jade on the push, and the timing of things. Kind of like everyone was playing for themselves, and I think HNB just capitalized on that well. I think they stepped on the gas, never let their foot off, but stepped on the brakes. And from here on forward, I think it's just an overwhelming aggro from HNB's part. Yep, that's that tower on fire. All they gotta do is do that one more time, build a tower here, block them off of it. Focus full strength on Crimson. They just continue forward with the forward rallies, get a few strong people on the flank rallies, and I think that's it. I would say this one probably has 30 minutes left, 45 minutes at most, before the white flag is thrown. Even if Jade was to push through Azure here and try to come around, make something happen, it took too long. It took too long to get to this point. So that's where my vote's cast. For the questions earlier about who I think is going to win, I think at this point I think HNB will. Still plenty of game left, plenty of time left to prove me wrong, but just looking at the way things are being executed, field control, rally control, lack of rallies coming out from the Jade side. Looks like there's finally some rallies going on here, but again, I think it's just too little too late now. I don't know. Let me just double check real quick if I need to build a tower soon. There's Notorious, there's Kev. Yeah, I don't know, I don't see it. They got this one repaired, but, or extinguished. Is that another tower? I don't know, we'll have to see. This tower isn't going down nearly quick enough compared to what Jade would want it to go down, or how quick Jade would want it to go down, so they can focus their efforts on the garrison on the top instead of on this flank. Which is not going to happen, it doesn't look like. their flank, which means they're going to start moving players back here to try to save that. As soon as they do that, HNB just does one massive push through this, and that will probably be it, honestly. I'm gonna refill my water real quick, grab some more coffee. for today to hydrate. That tower is back on fire. Good trade at all for SSI. Oh my. For Jade. Yeah, nope, Azure is doing what they need to do. They are distracting the hell out of Jade. Putting so much pressure on their flank. Oh yeah, I think that's allergies. Bipolar, it fucks me up. That tower ain't going anywhere.
Earth's final pioneers.
Oh yeah, flying tower's almost there.
Into forgotten depths of the planet. But into the cathedral of myriad stars.
Why did they put Cassandra back in? Are they trying to protect a flank now? Yep, here they go. They're trying to do this. This is Crimson's, I would say, probably their final attempt before they get overrun here. Ever make it? Oh no. I don't think there's any other way for them to. Yeah, HNB just had this. Curious to know if this HNB merge lasts and they stay around the 25 billion mark. I wonder if that warrants DHX and Boone and SSI to merge to make a similar strength alliance. And then I wonder if IGG actually capitalizes on that and throws them both in, Jade and Crimson, just like this. That might actually be pretty cool to watch. Back on the field, trying to hit the tower. I'm just suiciding for it. It's not going to work though. HNB has the presence. Let's force back. This tower managed to get it to burn. Can't tell if that. This is just the laggy part of the map. Holy cow. Sorry about that. I was on the phone for a minute. Yep, no, there's no offensive rallies coming from Crimson Jade side anymore. This tower's on fire, that'll be gone. Safe Me is holding on to this for dear life, but the flank tower is almost done, about 6 minutes left. Jade is still trying valiantly, can't talk today, to try to push Azure back, which has not really panned out, unfortunately. To be honest, guys, this looks decided. Yes, sir. Engineer. Holy cow, we got a backlog. Oh, he's already got it. Okay. Okay, let's pan back down. Oh wow, they're really canceled. I don't know if HNB is just playing with their food or what. They might be. HNB canceling their rallies and stuff. Okay, so we can kind of just chop up Jade and Azure side to just Tower's got 30 seconds left. They may just be resetting the rallies down here to wait for the flank rallies to be set up top. Ease off a lot of the pressure down here by doing so. A lot less people to reinforce. Probably take better trades. Jade is pretty much out of it at this point. Hate to admit it, but I don't know that I would do this. Like, if I know that these guys are getting overrun, you're next. If anything, I might try to, like, go here and just take a fight for while I can if I'm trying to score points that way or something, or maybe just build more down here. But this up here, you're going to be by yourself. Crimson's going to get cut in a minute, so I don't know that I would be doing that. Yep, here comes gold on the flank. I don't see anybody. Maybe Land Shark Garrison. How many towers are they touching? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, between the triple rally, or between the 3 rally points, I don't know that Crimson has the garrison leaders to hold. I do know that Jade has the rally leaders to do this, between LeBron. I know that he's set quite a few rallies already as well. I thought I saw some ILOS setting one as well. Yeah, this one looks to be GG so far. There's always tomorrow. There's always later. There's always a second effort. Maybe Crimson and Jade can fall back a little bit, reconvene and repush. strategy maybe, but as it stands, this looks pretty brutal. Let's take a look and see if Jade has set any more rallies. They do have a rally down here. Pretty decent rally, looks like maybe. Is that 8,000 damage he's taking? Never mind, that rally's taking a lot of damage. SSI trying to retake field control here. And SID is a part of there, so yes, they do have field control here. But I don't know. Yeah, that rally is just not trading well enough to justify the field control. This tower's going down. We have some porting in, but many more are going to need to start porting back as these rallies start hitting. I think Danny Lee is a good garrison. Probably go land shark at this other tower back here. If you guys don't hear me talk for a minute, the girlfriend and the little one just got home, so I'll probably say hi to them in just a minute here. Just step away for just a second. Wait for them to come upstairs. Yep. I mean, it's all kind of just unfolding for them. So we've got like we got like 3 minutes left, I think. What song is this? What the heck? Change that up. Just on a non-copyright playlist, so I'm not too aware of the music playing. Not familiar with it. Have HNB just for the full field control here. Rallies should be going off here in a minute. Looks like we already have 1 marching, 2 marching. Nothing yet on the far north tower, but let's see what the trades go like here. Should be Danny Lee on garrison, yep. I do know that Danny Lee has a very strong garrison, so this is going to take probably a triple rally. But at the same time too, though, I think this one is rather very exposed. I think they might move Cassandra back here if I had to guess. LeBron going for the immediate swarm on the healthy tower. Dude, that guy is insane, man. LeBron's a crazy player. A lot of these guys need to be just ruthless, to be honest. They can't fence up all of them being together in one. He's scary, man. They play with They play really well together. They're very coordinated. Spreading out their rally leaders appropriately, balancing out the strong players on each vulnerable turn. HNB is doing very well right now. This tower is just going down. They have 5 bases to reinforce this thing. That even, yeah. Should break it. There, yep. Now that that is on fire, they'll re-rally it. I'm sure they might re-rally it with weaker rallies and then turn their strong rallies onto this one next. If I had to guess, I would say LeBron rallies this, or they take the same people to rally this, and take some people that are maybe a little bit less strong to re-rally this one since it's already on fire, just to see if they're going to attempt to... Oh, is it? Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, no, like I said, it's a non-copyright playlist, so I'm not too familiar with the music that plays. I also jacked my microphone way down. Here we go. Turn this up a little bit. Hopefully that's better. Let me know if I need to turn up my mic some more. Oh, you know what? It's actually when I moved my mic. I've got it on a boom stand here, and when I moved it, I just like down. I turned the volume knob down. Thank you. I wouldn't have noticed that. Yep, so that one's on fire. Let's take a look and see. I'm sure Save Me's still holding on for dear life. Yep. That is a painful rally. Holy smokes. Is that a tower rally? That is. Looks like they're going for DHX on the swarm, or is that a rally? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Again, appreciate you calling that out. I would not have looked down and noticed that. When I sat down with my coffee, I must have bumped that. Yep, Nom Nom Save Me trying to swarm this one. They're trying to do the same thing back that they're doing. I do not think that this is the place to apply pressure and effort right now. I think that Jade has no presence at the moment to justify attempting to swarm. They're trying to get another tower down, but as soon as this pressure goes away, HNB just turns immediately onto this, I think. Well, and they have another tower going as well. That's why it's not up there. I think that all the pressure that they're pushing, or like forcing here, they just need to be on the defensive end. They need to hold until Jade gets a leg back up. If Jade can somehow get Azure off of their flank or relieve some of this pressure and then refocus their strong players up here, that's what DHX needs, or Crimson as a whole needs to hold out for. But this push here without their Jade allies, I think is a wasted effort. I mean, you're trying to do this into an alliance that's 10 bill power over you. All your flank towers are, while your rear towers are already on fire. I think they need to reshift and refocus on the flank for a bit. See if Jade can have a chance to get a leg up in the next few minutes. If not, then fall back, reconvene, and try again in a little bit. I don't know. Yep, LeBron's moving his troops up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marches. I think he just goes for the swarm. Maybe poke the tower to see who's garrisoning and how strong it is. Oh, yep, here comes the rally. LeBron's going to immediately swarm with him. We've seen this a million times out of LeBron, if you've ever followed him or his days in BTW. RPG and such. Was it RPG, BTW? I thought it was both. I don't know. The man's been in quite a few places. Kuroshi. Okay, yeah, I do know Kuroshi. It does have a good garrison. I've seen that as well. Okay. Where's Cassandra? Is Cassandra up here? Am I blind? No, I have to be blind. I thought Cassandra was up here. I might be wrong. Oh, nope, there she is. I thought that they would have put Cassandra on garrison on one of these flank ones back here. Maybe her garrison isn't as strong as these guys. I could be wrong. But I thought for sure they would have at least put her on something like here. I would say, like, put your best garrison up here with Save Me. Put your second best right here with Kuroshi. Put your third best right here with Cassandra. Fill players on the north side and the south side of this weak tower here, so they can reinforce that one with maybe 2 out of 5 marches, and then focus 3 out of 5 marches on the north tower and the South Tower. Do that until Jade can try to get a presence to push forward as well with them. But right now it seems like it's all kind of in favor of Gold and Azure at the moment. Do we have any Azure rallies going off? Nope, does not look like it. Looks like the tower rallies there have been canceled as well. Not too sure what the Jade focus is right now. Just keep kind of moving around here, see who's doing what. Tower's still going down. Roshi, decent hold so far. Good trade. Is it only a singular rally though? It is only a singular rally. Okay, here we go. Now they're starting to move players to the flank. They're kind of realizing that they need that. There we go, now Cassandra's in the far back. One sec, I think I need to build another one.
I know. You want me to take center stage.
Give me one sec. Little one's up here, and then I can kind of explain that. Sorry. You're silly, Ambry. Yeah, so what happened in G2? So in Crimson, we're in Crimson. We allied with Boone initially, who was Gold. And then, I'm not sure if it was that Azure, like, had history with some alliances or players in Jade, or if it was solely because I think one of the alliances in Azure is family with Boone. I think that kind of played a minor role. I think that there were some players or some alliance in Azure that had history with Jade, and they pretty much approached Boone and was like, hey, we know that you're allied with Crimson, but can we help you guys push Jade back? And Boone pretty much just accepted that. And so we 3v1 them, pushed them back, and we're taking a break week, I guess, because of it. So, is it a break week? Yes, kind of. But not, it wasn't initially called a break week. It was just push them back and hold them back. So, yeah. But at the same time, part of it was also that there were some alliances within the Legions that fought pretty hard in Island Raid. Evil and Rise, for example, are both in Jade in G2, and they were both on our island last island, where all of us had taken rallies or fought DHX at one point. So I do know that they had a lot of players that were hurting. I think Boone was saying that they had a hard-fought IR as well, but there were a few other alliances too. So when it was kind of announced that that was how G2 might play out, a lot of the alliances were okay with it. And also considering that G1 was going to be a really fun one to watch, they were kind of more encouraged to do that. However, there were also some alliances obviously that didn't really like that outcome of a 3v1 and stuff, particularly in Jade. But I guess that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes things are out of your control. Yeah, no, sorry. I really wish I had all the information and details. That was kind of like the gist of what I got the first night in the leadership chat between Crimson and Gold and Azure. I believe at like one point, like I think it was Samuel or Nam or something like that, he was just like, hey, I was approached by Azure, they want to help us push back Jade, like, is that okay? And then I got busy, came back, and that was pretty much how everyone had voted for. So I was like, you know, cool, no biggie, whatever you guys decide. That was kind of the vote that we had in MBD, since we had fought DHX for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, garrisoning to try to protect our towers to keep Mr. Brain's base alive, because he was he was out in unprotected territory in Island Raid, unfortunately, and it was like 3 a.m. so we had to protect it or no, it was like 4 a.m. so we had to protect it from like 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. till he logged back in and then finally teleported to safety. Luckily we caught it, or he came back in time. So mission accomplished, but it definitely hurt. It hurt a lot to try to garrison against DHX, so we were totally fine with whatever the rest of the alliances and legions kind of decided. If they wanted to fight, we'd fight. If they wanted to take a break, we were okay with that too. So yeah, no biggie from our end. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure on the full details of why Azure initially had said, hey, can we help you push back Jade? That part I kind of missed while I was gone. I think I was just taking care of the little one that night, so yeah. That is pretty much what I know of it. So, did we get another tower break? I saw this tower was on fire again. Oh, this one's still alive. Safe me, man. Just holding on for dear life. Bless his heart. I think he kicked everyone out now. Yep. I think that is safe me throwing in the towel. Because he sees that this tower is on fire and about to go down. There's nom nom nom. And that should be it for Crimson, I think. For right now, at least. Jade, I mean, I think a lot of this was just unfortunate timing. Again, earlier, like what I was saying, I think it was just a miscommunication, or maybe a lack of communication, or not coordinating properly. Jade did come up here in time to be able to build a tower into this spot to early pressure into HNB before they could get a foothold and establish themselves, and before Azure had built the connecting towers and started applying pressure. I think that there was a small window of opportunity there. I think that window was missed, and because of that, it looks like Jade and Azure have been pretty much put into a stalemate, and that leaves Crimson to 1v1 HNB on their own, and that is I mean, as we saw the first day, that's just, you know, Crimson is strong, but HNB is just, has overwhelming numbers right now. So, maybe back up, reconvene, plan again, see if there's any chances to come up with a second reorganized push from Crimson and Jade, or maybe they call it and wait for next week's AR. The week after, whenever it is. I think it might be the week after. Hold on, I just gotta take a peek here, make sure nothing's happening. Oh, they're just hitting farmers or something? Or are they building? Nope. Oh. Okay, back to G1. Sorry, just gotta make sure, because I'm garrisoning on the north part, so I just want to make sure if I needed to move garrison, I can. like, what a difference, man. Save Me jumps in and immediately cut in half on the damage he's taking. What a garrison. This was definitely one of those situations where HNB's numbers that they have because of the merge, if Crimson and Jade want to have a chance, they need each other. They need, if it's available, because I know that we saw it in the last Archipelago raid, and people couldn't figure out if it was intended or intentional or not, or maybe it was the one before it, where you could have 5 rallies on a tower now instead of 3 as the limit. And if that is the case where you can still do 5 rallies, I think that it was going to be necessary for them to have at least one tower where they could set 5 rallies between Crimson and Jade. To now, or at that point, that would be the counter to Gold's just sheer numbers. Just an overwhelming offense rally. And then using that pressure to then maybe set a rally in the south against Azure to keep them distracted. And I don't know, I don't really know where you go from there, but I think that that's the first step, and I think that first step was missed, unfortunately. Give me 1 second though, my little one is asking for some help with something. Looks like this tower's about to go down. I'll leave this here in case anybody gets their base hit. It's probably interesting to see, but I will be back in just 1 moment. Okay. Sorry, I got Bob the Builder for a 3-year-old. Okay, looks like most people poured it out. They're safe. Oh, that one's not. That one's not. That one's not. That one is certainly not. That one is absolutely not. Okay, well, here they go. Why we are AFK at the front line, I have no idea. I don't care whether you're G1 or G200, don't ever do this, please. Don't ever do this. Pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to your towers. Don't get caught in something like this, please. It's not worth it. The few diamonds and alliance points you'll spend to shield up or port, absolutely worth it every time. Don't ever log off like this, especially in the front line. Holy. RIP to these guys. That is 131 mil getting swarmed down. 160 at peak. Yikes. RIP to that guy. RIP to this one. Oh, nope, he's out. I don't know why you ate that. I mean, some of these people are clearly there, but I don't know why you... Why do you even chance it, you know? Like, why do you eat those? I don't care if I have 400 mil, 500 mil. I mean, maybe at that point, like, if you're not under battle fever and you can, like, shield up when shit gets shitty, sure. But, come on, man. Like, it's not worth it. For what, a few points? I can't speak for the guys that are like 300-400 mil where it's like no biggie, you can eat it all day long. whatever. Like, it's not gonna, even if you take a triple rally, it's probably not gonna fill up your hospital enough to go into killed. Like, I get it. At that point, go for it. But like, these players, man, don't do that, please. Oh, did the tower come back up? Did they get one completed? Looks like people are back on territory. Yikes, though. Good save, but yikes. Yeah, no, man. I see it way too often. Way too often. You see it in the lower brackets and stuff like that. And sometimes I can understand, because if you're in, like, say, G40, G50, you may not anticipate that they may be able to push that quick. But, I mean, even then, in those brackets, you have T6s, you have whales. So, I mean, you just have to pretty much expect that these events will turn on a dime. Like, your base is never safe unless you're in a safe zone. You step away, shield up. Or port. Little pricey, but it's going to cost you a lot less to get some shields and teleports than it is to try to heal up hundreds of thousands of troops, unless if you lose any. So, to each their own. Is that a tower that's getting hit? What's going on here? Is this just field fighting? It's just field fighting, isn't it? It is. Here comes the HNB pressure, because they no longer have to pressure all here on the tower. And oh my goodness, they are just floating in. HNB are putting on a show this week. More than just the power and the numbers and stuff like that. Like, if you cannot see that this is just straight, really, really good coordination on all ends of HNB. I mean, this is what it's supposed to look like. They have numbers, yes, but they're using the numbers. Jade Legion G6 had an alliance remove a tower and got some bases zeroed. I started reading the comments on that on, I believe, Panda's video that he put out. Was it today? Where he was doing a little bit of like a post, I guess, like post-start of the event, like bracket review a couple days in. And I believe I saw somebody kind of comment on that in the G6 stuff. I think that's very shitty. I don't know the politics of it. I don't know the reasonings for all that and whatnot. But if you intentionally get other players burned, I'm sorry, but that's, to me, that's about as low as you can go. You can have your differences all you want all day long. You can have your political differences. You can not agree. You know, people can do some shady shit by not, you know, like not playing at all. Like, people can just full on not commit to an event and sit out, and that's, you know, that's kind of shitty, because you kind of force loss. But don't jeopardize and detriment players, especially when there's a very good chance that you're doing it to free-to-play players or small spenders, people that put in a shit ton of time, and the only thing that they have is being smart to protect their bases, to protect the time that they invest. Don't do that. I don't care how much someone upsets you, how much you hate someone or hate their group. Be a fucking adult. That's childish. I'm sorry. Like, sorry for cussing and shit, but like, that is so childish. But then again, like I said, I mean, like, in their mind, it could have been justified. I'm not saying that, like, whoever pissed them off or got it to the point of deleting the towers was in the right. I'm not dismissing any of the actions prior to. I'm just simply saying that, like, once you've crossed that line of now detrimenting other players that aren't in your alliance, or even your own alliance, you know, like, I know that in this case they probably told all their alliance players to move their bases and stuff like that, so they probably weren't hit, but I do know that there were players' bases burned and stuff like that. So I think that's just shitty, honestly. I think that you have just set up grounds to now have nobody trust you whatsoever moving forward. I think anybody that remembers back in the day where Panda made a video about how SMHS like backstabbed their allies or whatever it was, and SMHS just became a meme, and everybody hated them as a region and as an alliance, and nobody wanted to trust them in Island Raid, and their alliance fell apart, and big terms because of it, or big reason because of it. I think this is just another story of that. They have officially crossed the line that they can't go back on. So that is very unfortunate for the players that, you know, had their shit burned, had their shit, you know, killed off or whatever have you, zeroed because of the actions of them. I really hope you guys recover quick. I hope that your losses weren't too detrimental, and I hope you guys can bounce back quickly. There you have, but there's really nothing else to say to that. It's to no fault of their own. I'm sorry that you guys got tied up in the politics of that. These mobile games and games like this where money is tossed around so much, and a lot of pride, a lot of egos, a lot of high tempers, stuff like that going around. It's not unheard of to see things like that happen, but it is still very shitty nonetheless. Very, very shitty. And I hope that the players that are in the alliance, like the last thing I'll say to this is that the players that are in the alliance where your leader deleted the towers, I hope you guys reflect on your own morals and values and just realize that that could have been you. And if that was you, like, how would you feel? You know, if that was one of the other Legion alliances that deleted a tower and got you burned while you were offline, how would you feel about it? And the fact that your leader is willing to do that once means that they're probably willing to do it again, and they act out of emotions instead of controlling them. And I would highly reconsider looking for a new home. Oh yeah, absolutely. AR or Island Raid. I mean, the fact that we have Island Raid as well, and you can't, you know, you're not going to be, like, you at least in AR, the alliance that did the shitty stuff can still get placed with other alliances and then thus force those alliances to work together even if they may not want to. Not saying that they will, but it forces that hand. In Island Raid, like, you just become a meme. No one would ever want to work with you. I would say that they should just be kept on their helipad every Island Raid moving forward as a lesson. Either that R5 needs to get demoted and kicked out, or players should start reevaluating what alliance they're in. Because I would not want to be in an alliance with that reputation, I'll tell you that much. Now, with that in mind, it sounds like you might have some of the details. Do you have any of the actual details on why that happened or what led up to that? If not, it's totally fine. Because you already know more than I do about the situation. I just heard about it from his video, and I believe someone had mentioned it in our Archipelago chat. I think I glanced at someone talking about it, but by the time I went to check the map, the towers were already gone, and it was a couple hours prior to that it all kind of happened. Yeah, if anyone has any details on that, please, by all means, share it. I'd love to kind of know what led up to it. I don't really have much else to say to it, but it'd be interesting to know, like, what led up to that at that point. I haven't gone back to Panda's video to check and see if there were more details. Oh, hi, baby. Okay, so they pretty much have DH or Crimson on their toes here. Forward towers are burning. They healed up that one. Anything going on here? why are we hitting me? What's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's having a good day today. Good evening, good morning, wherever you're from. Good afternoon. It is 8 p.m. here, so I'm not too sure what time it is for everyone, but hope everyone is either having a good, or has had a good day, or you will have a good day. If anyone has any interesting brackets going on right now in your Gs, or any good fights going on, let me know. This one was really good, but seems very one-sided and kind of decided now. This one really just came down to Jade and Azure and a stalemate. As soon as HNB pushed through, though, that'll kind of be the end of that for them. Crimson already getting pushed back as well. Some rallies going on down here. Is that? Oh no, that's just a march. Oh, they don't give a shit. They're just going for it, huh? Is this the rally? This is the rally. There we go. Okay, so that's 2 rallies? Yeah, this is not flimsy. I'm sorry to you. Oh, wait, hold on, you got it. There's a disagreement on how they should play V7 and V8 between alliance. I'm assuming that by V7 and V8 you mean like the cities, level 7 and level 8, I'm assuming. Not like the 7 and 8 checkpoints. Or like, there is no 7 and 8 checkpoints, don't listen to me. Okay, so I know you're talking about 7 and 8 cities, okay, don't listen to me. Also the whale from between alliance. Also the whale from Soon used to be an ex-member of AOA that got kicked because the way he used to bully smaller players. So literally, it's just politics and past. Like that's so stupid. You have literally brought punishment on players that have nothing to do with your personal history. I got hard feelings towards AOA. I think he just used that disagreement to get AOA. Oh my god. That kind of player should just be blacklisted, period. Don't ever put that player in a Titan Alliance. Don't accept him. If that's what they're going to do, they're going to bully small players and then do that as like a backstab or like an additional low blow. Nah, that kind of person just needs to be blacklisted altogether. Go send him to region 400 plus and stick him out there and leave him on that island. That's fucked. Oh no. I know, Bane. I know. Took me a minute, but yeah, man. You guys had a probably 5 or 6 minute window that, if capitalized on, I'm not gonna say like would have won you it, but it definitely would have been a momentum shift. And that window came and went, and unfortunately, it wasn't really capitalized on. And I don't know if it was just a miscommunication between Jade and Crimson, or an overlooked opportunity, or what it was. But the tower that was initially right here, that blocked Jade off from touching gold to be able to 5 rally this tower, gave Azure enough time, because they didn't even have any towers right here built to touch Jade at the time. They had just built this way, and they had built this way. And when that window was missed, I mean, that was kind of it. No, I didn't think that Crimson had any opportunity to try to rally into gold by themselves, because gold would just swarm it down. But if Jade had been able to commit 2 more range rallies with Louis as secondary, and then Crimson had at least one of those as well, I think a triple Louis on the tower, well, 5 rallies on the tower, but 3 of those having Louis as secondary, I think would have taken a lot of that pressure off of the swarming on the rallies. But I think that window was missed when Crimson had a tower right here and Jade was just stuck to this corner right here, and so there wasn't any opportunity for you guys to be able to capitalize on the 2v1. And I think that would have been the huge win condition for that portion of the fight, and unfortunately it was missed. But it is what it is. HNB are doing really well. SafeMe has held a huge garrison this whole time. SSI, or I'm sorry, not SSI, but Jade as a whole have had a hell of a time here with Azure. They haven't been able to push them back. It's stalemated, and Azure's pressure has moved a lot of the Jade whales back to have to try to deal with it. So rather unfortunate. But I mean, everybody showed up. Everybody tried. You know, cannot fault them for that. Yeah. Well, that was part of the problem that I saw early in the stream. Was not even that it wasn't demolished early enough. Was that people were porting down there. It's one thing to like not demolish it. It's a whole nother thing when people like kept calling it out for probably a good 2 or 3 minutes that tower needed to be demolished so they could just get in, because the tower that Jade had put right here on the corner was already finished, so they were ready to go. But not only did the tower take too long to demolish, but players started porting in. And then when players started realizing, like, oh shit, we got to demolish this tower, let's port out, other players ported in. And I was like, well, now you can't really just demolish the tower, because then these bases of these like 150 mil players will just get immediately swarmed. So I think that there was just, that's where I was saying, I think that there may have just been like a miscommunication or an oversight. But I mean, it's totally fine. I totally understand the adrenaline part, man. Like we've been stuck in G1 for months. We've never left, even when Kev and all those guys left, man. Like we never left G1, so we're used to this. Like once you're in there, once you're fighting and you're paying attention to your towers and the garrison side of things and setting rallies and counter rallies and everything that's going on, like it's hard, man. You overlook those small details, but those small details, man, those are in a lot of cases your win conditions. Especially when you have an uphill fight. It's those little things, those little windows of opportunity. But no, man, it's all good. I think Crimson has shown up. They've done well. They did what they need to. They showed that they came to fight. You know, can't discredit them for that at all. Jade came. They came to fight as well. But Azure, man, Azure has just done tremendous in keeping Jade preoccupied, a lot more so than I thought that they'd be able to. So I think at this point it's kind of just the bleed out phase, unfortunately. I think this is just kind of the part where Crimson will hold on to these towers as long as they can, but there's not any momentum the other direction, no real rallies in the other direction, so the momentum won't shift. At this point it's just going to be a game of attrition, and I think HNB will just snowball on the momentum they already have. If it's not into Crimson, it'll be into Jade. Yeah, I do actually. I will leave the majority of the details to him, as you know, I'm not too sure how much or how little he's going to share on it. I'm sure that he'll make videos on it when he gets back. But for the last few months, he has been dealing with a really mysterious lung issue. I don't remember if it was like fluid in his lungs or some buildup or something, but he had gone to a lot of doctors, had multiple chest x-rays and things like that to try to figure out what exactly he has going on with his lungs. And I think that when he was on the tail end of that, he had like a family event or something that he had to do for about a week. And then coming back from the family event, he was saying that he started having heart problems, or like chest problems or something like that, like difficulty breathing, pain in his chest kind of stuff. A lot of people thought that it's just stress related. The guy is terribly busy, full-time dad, works full-time, streams full-time, tries to play the game. He just had so much going on. So a lot of people chopped it up to maybe being stress, because a lot of us have kind of experienced similar symptoms in one way or another over time. Obviously wishing him and his health the best. But yeah, as of right now, last I talked to him a few days ago, he was still kind of just waiting on some appointments and some other stuff or whatever. I think a cardiologist or something like that. To really just kind of figure out what's going on with him. Yeah. All of us as well, man. Hope he gets better soon. Or really for us, the biggest thing is we just hope it's nothing serious, you know. Just, yeah, I know that he was stressing when his family kind of came through. And then just balancing everything else, and then coming off the tail end of his other health stuff, he had so much on his plate, man. I would not be surprised if his body was just overwhelmed and went into shock pretty much. So yeah, I'm sure he's just taking some time and spending time with his wife and kids and stuff like that. So, but well deserved. He needs it. Not the hell shit. Just the break, or at least a reminder to take a breath. Yeah, no. I hope he gets better soon. Try to message him again today, actually, or tomorrow. I try not to message him throughout the week. That way, if he has work or family stuff going on or whatever, I don't want to cut into the middle of it and interrupt. But I'll see if I can message him tomorrow. Ooh, this one's gonna go down in a minute as well. I don't think anyone's really a threat though for this one to go down. No, because that one's up still. Yeah, no, this one's just gonna be a bleed out, I think, from where we're at here. With that in mind, I'll probably take the opportunity to go get some food. That way I can eat before it gets too late over here. And then when I'm done making some food, probably jump back on, see if there's any re-aggressions in G1 from Jade and Crimson, or see how that's all kind of unfolding. Or maybe I'll check out some of the other brackets while I'm eating, and if I can stumble across some that have some really good fights going on, maybe we'll stream that after I'm done. But yeah, I'll be back in just a little bit. I'm gonna go eat, get some food going and stuff like that. Yep, no, real life is absolutely more important. It is the #1 thing that we promote in the Alliance, and we will always stand by that. Family, life, work, health, all comes first. At the end of the day, it's just a game, right? So we do all tend to forget to take breaths from time to time, that's for sure. It's very easy to get overwhelmed. But yeah, no, while these towers are pretty much just burning and going down, on Crimson's side, looks like Jade is as well, and they're starting to fall back as well here. Like I said, I'm going to take this opportunity to go get some food, since the momentum is very one-sided right now, so there's not too much to kind of talk on. It's just kind of bleeding out at the moment. I'm going to go get some food going, and I will be back in a little bit. Appreciate y'all being here, and I'll see you guys in a bit.